guys, welcome to Meals with Maria. Today I'm so excited to share with you some shelf cooking or shelf shopping as you will call it. This past week we went camping and then when we got back I'm like, I want to go shopping. We have plenty of food at the house. I have leftovers from camping. Let's make sure that we can spend the week to try and do just some meals that are from the things that I have in my freezer, fridge, and pantry. So that's what I have for you guys. Also, I am almost 33 weeks now. I know you guys are always looking for a pregnancy check-in, so I'm feeling great, feeling really good, and I just can't believe it's coming so fast. So yeah, I don't really have any crazy stories to tell you about this pregnancy. Everything's been really going well, and we're just excited to meet the little one. So here are our amazing shelf cooking meals. I hope you can get some inspiration for your family. So the first thing I'm going to make is actually a barbecue chicken salad sandwich. And this is so simple. I have been doing this for years. My mom does it. I don't know if anyone's ever tried it, but you just take your already cooked barbecue chicken, cut it up. This can be any type of barbecue chicken. It can be on the bone. It can be a boneless, skinless, whatever you have. And then I am just going to add mayonnaise, salt, and pepper to taste. So put as much mayonnaise in this as you like. Honestly, it would also taste good probably without mayonnaise if you just wanted to have a chicken sandwich with the barbecue sauce. Maybe add a little extra barbecue sauce. Put that on your burger bun with some cheese, and you have a great leftover sandwich. So this is as simple as it gets, but it's quite delicious. And personally, I just love the fact that the mayonnaise mixes with the barbecue sauce, and I think that it adds this sweet and tangy flavor, and it is just really, really good. Also something that reminds me of childhood because, like I said, my mom always made it. And so the night after we would have a barbecue chicken dinner, we would be able to have barbecue chicken salad sandwiches. And so luckily these burger buns and cheese or something was already in my fridge, and I was able to just use leftover chicken from when we went camping. And here is a super easy lunch. I was able to make 2 of these of what we had left. So the next thing I was able to make by kind of rummaging through my refrigerator and cabinets were these Mexican stuffed peppers. And oh my goodness, they're so, so good. So I had a bag of red peppers that I had bought a couple weeks ago, and that was pretty much what I had left for fresh produce in my fridge. Everything still looked good, so I thought, all right, let's look in the cabinet and see what we have. So I definitely always have rice on hand. So here I'm just making up my rice according to the package. I think it's 45 minutes and a couple cups of water with that. I'll always leave a plain rice recipe below for you. And then I had 4 peppers, which is more than enough for dinner for us. So this was great because it actually lasted for dinner as well as lunch the next day. And I'm just slicing the peppers in half, and then I'm going to clean out the inside of the peppers. You want to make sure that there's no stems and no seeds left. Now you just want to take your de-stemmed and de-seeded peppers and place them into a casserole dish. And then I'm just putting about a tablespoon of olive oil over them. You really want to make sure that your peppers are appropriately kind of covered in oil because this will help them to cook, and season them with salt and pepper. We're then going to cook these in the oven at 425 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. And you want to make sure that they're well cooked and kind of blistered when they come out. So this will help the peppers to be fully cooked even kind of before you put the filling inside. Now, I missed this part of the recording, but in order to make the filling, you want to add 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of black beans, 4 cloves of minced garlic, a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh cilantro, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, and salt and pepper to taste. I was also lucky enough to have an onion on hand, so I cooked up 1 small onion on the stove just until it turned translucent. And this is gonna cook our onion all the way through. And then I'm taking my fully cooked rice. You can see that it's cooked pretty much perfectly here. And we're gonna add the onion as well as the rice once everything's cooled down to our bean and tomato mixture. And that's gonna be the filling for the inside of the peppers. I love stuffed peppers like this because as long as you have peppers on hand, some red, green, yellow, orange, whatever flavor or color, I guess I mean whatever color, on hand with some rice and some beans, you can pretty much make this happen. This is more of like a Mexican Southwestern flavor, but if you had some beef or sausage, you could mix this in and mix it in with some marinara and definitely make it into more of an Italian stuffed pepper. So it's worth it whatever way you want to do it. Always keep that in mind when you're shelf shopping and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with these peppers? They're going to go bad. You can make stuffed peppers if you have rice, beans, or meat. You're pretty much ready to go. So I'm just filling up my peppers, and then I'm going to top them with some shredded Mexican cheese, which I was lucky enough to have as well. You could use mozzarella for this too. I think it would still taste great. Whatever you have on hand, make it work. When you serve them, they taste great with sour cream on the side. And what I did was I actually made this ahead of time, so unfortunately I didn't get footage of us eating it, but I cooked it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and everybody loved it. And there was plenty of leftovers for the next day, which is even better because we got 2 meals out of one thing just from shelf shopping. The next meal I'm going to make is a linguine with Caesar salad and garlic bread. Now, this is part of a meal that I was expecting to make when we were camping. So I had planned to make linguine with garlic bread. So I had the pasta sauce and the garlic bread and the pasta all ready to go to cook while camping. But unfortunately, we just didn't get to it because it was raining and we went out to eat that night. So in order to not waste this, I wanted to make the linguine, and then I found a bag with like 1 head of romaine, and thank goodness these last forever in the fridge, and some creamy Caesar as well as croutons that I already had on hand. We were ready to go, and I just had to make this meal so that, you know, we didn't waste anything, and it was really hearty and delicious. So personally, I like to take the already made garlic bread and take it out of the bag. I think the recipe on the back says to leave it in the bag, but I feel like it cooks a lot better if you just take it, put it like 350 in the oven for like 10 minutes outside the bag, and it's perfect. So here I'm just tearing up the lettuce from my romaine lettuce head and putting that in a bowl. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some Caesar salad dressing, some croutons, and some Parmesan cheese over top, and we're just gonna make a simple Caesar salad. I feel like Caesar salad is like a staple in our household. It's super easy to make, and it goes really, really well with an Italian dish like pasta. So in this situation, I had a fresh linguine that I had planned to make while camping just because it takes like way less time. So I figured this would be a perfect thing to cook on a little camp stove. But in general, I always have pasta on hand. So this is a super easy meal if you have pasta and you have a jar of sauce, which I mean, you should have on hand. You should basically always have a pasta and a jar of sauce on hand at all times. Make sure you are stocked up. So this is super easy. I did leave a little bit of water in the bottom of that pot. When you're putting your sauce in with your pasta, you want to leave a little bit of the cooking water, and it just really helps to marry everything. I think Rachel Ray taught me that one. But here you can see our bread and our salad and our pasta, and this is just like a really hearty meal and something that we're really happy to have after coming back from camping and feeling really homey. The next meal is one of my favorite pantry budget meals. It's a vegetable fried rice with the chicken pot stickers. Now, I happen to have some Trader Joe's chicken pot stickers in the freezer this time, so this was perfect to go with the fried rice. But oftentimes, I'll just cook up a fried rice and put it with a fried egg, and that is delicious as is. So here you see that I just had a can of vegetables. I think I had actually gotten those at the Dollar Tree one time. It was just a mixed vegetables, carrots, peas, and I had some scallions. So I cut up my scallions and I put some sesame oil into a hot pan. It's probably like a medium-high heat. You want to cook this pretty hot. And now I'm cooking up the whites of the scallions. Now, I had also cooked up some rice the day before. So when I was cooking up, or maybe a couple days before, and I was making the stuffed peppers, I made extra rice. So always think ahead, meal plan, think about what you're going to make. So when I went through my pantry, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And I had this plan already in my head. I cooked enough rice to make for the vegetable fried rice as well as our stuffed peppers. And it's actually recommended to cook your rice for fried rice a few days in advance so it does dry out a little bit and actually helps crisp up the rice quite a bit. So I'm just pressing the rice into the bottom of the pan because I do want it to get a little bit crispy on one side. And in another pan, I'm going to cook up these pot stickers according to the directions on the package. You can see here that I'm making a little nest, and I'm going to put a little bit more sesame oil in here, but you could use regular vegetable oil or olive oil, whatever you have is really going to be fine. And then I'm putting 2 eggs, and I'm just going to scramble them right in the pan, right in the middle of our rice. And this is going to make a little bit of a scrambled egg mixture, and this adds a lot of flavor and some protein to our meal when we're just looking at a few vegetables, rice, eggs, and this is basically a complete meal, and kind of why I'm saying you don't even really need the pot stickers if you don't have them, but hey, they are delicious to add in there. So you just want to cook up that egg until it's fully cooked, and then mix it in with the rest of your rice. Once everything is cooked, add soy sauce to taste, and then I'm adding in my fresh greens from the scallions. Scallions are also great to freeze, so if you had some scallions going bad, you can always pop those into your freezer and you will have them on hand for next time. You can see my pot stickers cooking up in the pan next to here. And this is what everything looks like finished. It's a pretty good, duplicate for what you might get at a Chinese restaurant for literally pennies on the dollar. And I was super impressed because the kids even tried the pot stickers, which I thought was great. The next meal I made this week was a pulled pork quesadilla with a garden salad. So I've had some pork loin in my freezer for a while now, and I think I showed another video how to super easily make a pulled pork with a pork loin in your crock pot. But basically, I put this in on low for 6 hours, and then you can just tear it apart. I do love using the pork loin because it's very low fat, and the flavor is really strong though, so it works out really, really well. You just want to shred that up after you cook that in your slow cooker for 6 hours, and I actually ended up with quite a bit. So this is more than I needed for just a quesadilla, but I was actually able to, in this case, put the rest back in the freezer and freeze the cooked portion. And in the future, that will actually taste really good in another budget-friendly fried rice. So I also had some barbecue sauce on hand. I just like the spaghetti and the sauce. Recommend you keep some barbecue around. This is the Berman's from Aldi, and it's like under $1, and it's really, really good. Flour tortillas, same thing. They last forever in the fridge, so I pretty much always have some on hand. And then I had my leftover Mexican style cheese that we didn't use all of that when I was cooking those peppers, so I knew I could make quesadillas. Pretty much once you have tortillas and cheese, you can make a quesadilla out of anything. And on the side here, I'm serving this with a salad. I did end up having that lettuce left over, and then at this point, this was kind of the last day of the week where I did actually go to the store and got some stuff for the next week, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna use a little bit of it to make a salad here so that we have something additional to add to our greens. And I wasn't gonna be like a stickler for like, okay, technically this morning we were still on our shelf pantry thing, but today I went shopping, so I wanted to add that to the dinner tonight just to have some extra veggies. And then last minute, looking through my cabinet, I found these crunchy chickpeas, and I was like, these will go perfect on the salad and just make it a little extra something. And this is kind of what I pulled together, and I'm like, that's a pretty good salad for pulling stuff out of the fridge. And then for the quesadillas, you just want to put a little bit of butter in the pan. I mean, you can use spray or oil, whatever you'd like. You can even cook them in the oven if you don't have anything to put on your pan. They melt up just fine on a baking sheet. I personally just love butter with my quesadillas, so put some butter in that pan and put some cheese on one side, and then put the top on it and then flip it over. I like doing it like this. I've seen people kind of where they like fold it over like a taco, but I find that you kind of make more faster this way, personal opinion. And here is the pulled pork quesadilla. The first one was just cheese for the kids. We put some cheese and some barbecue sauce on that, and these turned out amazing. It's a family favorite. I mean, you can't go wrong with these quesadillas. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching today. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not already, subscribe to my channel. I do videos like this. I do extreme grocery budget challenges and grocery hauls. I would love to have you here to watch more, and I will see you all very soon.